don't mean it.
We're subverting the expectation, subverting the norm. So let's just leave it at that.
Alrighty.
But first thing on the docket that's not personal related, because I don't have any updates. Do you, Gabe?
Nah. I'm going on a big trip soon. Big trip.
Yeah, big tipper on the way. Yeah. Well, Jay-Z sold Tidal. Mm-hmm. We were way off on episode 25. I was way off.
Oh, we guessed how much it was.
I said like a billy.
Yeah.
What did I? Yeah, I think
it was more than he bought it for.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not. He only gave part of it away, right?
Thinking about it now, how do we even say $1 billion? That seems like a lot.
I only said that because
I don't even know how much it was sold for. It could have been more for all I know, but
I only said $1 billion because I knew that like the streaming service game is like cutthroat, and to be the third biggest streaming service is still like an impressive feat. Because like I said, there are other streaming services people know about but don't use. So even though people make fun of Tidal for not being Spotify or Apple Music, that third place is still a secure spot.
Yeah.
So I overestimated the value there, but I still think it's like a valuable streaming platform, whatever you want to call it.
Do you know how much it went for?
Yeah, well, let's see. He sold the majority stake in Tidal Music to Jack Dorsey.
Oh, Twitter.
And he sold it for $297 million.
Oh, that's good.
What do we think about that, boys?
I think it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, so Jack Dorsey, co-founder of Twitter, acquired majority stake in Tidal. I saw a little controversy because...
what if you could use songs from Tidal on Twitter?
Like for what? What you mean?
Like to put it in videos and stuff?
Oh, like how Instagram kind of lets you use Apple Music stuff?
Yeah.
That would be pretty sweet. That would be pretty sweet. I doubt it will happen, though.
No, it won't.
Anything that benefits the consumer probably won't happen. But
anything that sounds cool will not happen.
Yeah, any good ideas you have, get them out of your head because they're not happening. But I was just going to say, I think that, there was a little controversy surrounding this because everyone describes Tidal as a black-owned business. But apparently there was nobody in the executive board or on the executive board that was black. It was just owned by Jay-Z. Gabe, you're a black man. How you feel about that?
Nigga, I don't care. I don't use Tidal.
Okay, but you consider it a black-owned business still, despite
I never thought about it in that way. But I mean, I thought of Jay-Z being the owner, so I guess
that's an interesting distinction, though. Like, what makes a business black-owned versus a black-owned business?
Exactly.
What is it?
If they have a commercial about them or not,
right?
Like by Google.
If they have that new Facebook logo.
Yeah. There's a difference between being a black-owned business and happening to be owned by someone who's black.
Yeah.
And what that difference is, I don't know exactly.
I mean, I saw something on Twitter from Dr. Umar of all people.
Oh my God.
I know he's a character.
He's a genius,
and I don't listen to him. And
kind of smart.
Don't take him seriously. But like he said something interesting. He said that it's only a black-owned business if it's like redistributing something positive to the community, like giving back in some way. Is that always true though? Like if you have a brick and mortar store owned by an old black couple and they're selling like pastries or something, I would still consider that a black-owned business, even if they're not like, donating anything or money. I don't know.
Yeah, I would too, just because there's not a lot of that, and
I think the problem with this is like people don't even consider Jay-Z black first. They consider him a billionaire and also one of the most famous rappers alive. So they don't look at it as a black-owned business. They look at it as another billionaire's venture.
I think once we get into companies that are worth millions and millions of dollars, then that's really what it is. If you're not really benefiting black people, especially when you're worth that much money, then we start to see it. Because what huge companies do we look at as black-owned? Really big companies. That would be
I'm thinking
worth around what Tidal's worth or more. They exist, but
I'm thinking.
I barely understand how like ownership at the corporate level works.
That's
what about stockholders? Don't they own
shareholders?
But if you own more than if you own them,
like, I feel like every company is owned by like a cabal of people,
right?
But there's obviously different stakes. Like right now, Jack Dorsey has majority stake. That's what Jay-Z sold. Jay-Z had the majority stake, and at that point, people were saying, "Is it a black-owned business? I don't know." And like Gabe said, I think when you get to a certain level where you're like worth millions and billions,
it starts to matter less.
Yeah.
The point of supporting black business is to support your local one.
I get it. I get it too. But also you see those things online that's like support black business that's in a different state.
Well, I mean, but I just mean like the ones that are like local.
Based locally?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this at a certain level. I understand that, but...
Is OVO a black business?
That's what I'm saying.
It's half.
Stuff like that is like...
It's a half black. Okay, let me stop. What were you saying?
I was going to say, at a certain point, it is support business. And it's like, you do that with everything. You purchase everything. Like, what does support really mean?
But that was some
I understand what that means, but
that was some people's reason for supporting Tidal. Like I would talk to girls who use Tidal, and they would say to support a black-owned business.
Oh, really?
They did say that. I mean, that's anecdotal, but that is a indicator. I think because he's against other big not black, like Spotify's European, Apple Music's obviously, Tim Cook and all those boys. So I think because he's competing against other white people, they might have considered it a black-owned business. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see. Well, I wasn't Tidal's whole thing like giving enough money to the artists themselves.
Yeah, it's like they make the most money off streams.
So by Dr. Umar's standards, that could be redistributive.
That's true. I also think, that is a good point. That was probably like
once again, you underestimate Dr. Umar's wise words of wisdom.
I'm not like gonna be in my defending billionaire bag, whatever you want to call it, but I think people give Jay-Z a little like too much grief for all his like business moves. Everyone always talks about how he's only about his money and a sellout and all that. Like he's a rapper.
Like it's kind of.
He always has been.
You know what I'm saying? He's always been a rapper. Yeah, he's never been this like Malcolm X fist up, and he's been pro-black, but he's never rapping has been his first priority, and then business has been his first like he's never. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the shit only runs so deep, and like at the end of the day, I mean, he could be black, but he's a billionaire, so that's kind of it.
Yeah. People. So I guess once you're a billionaire, you're not black no more.
No, it's
Gabe's
just
almost is on his way out with his stocks. You're going to transcend.
That's not what I meant, but I think a billionaire became a billionaire for a reason, and it's probably not for
that. That is true, but you're also white. Because I think black people, when they see Jay-Z being a billionaire, they'll kind of be like, "Yes, we got one." You know what I'm saying? On the team.
Okay, well,
because you're looking at it through the social lens, the leftist lens.
My bad, everyone.
That's not bad. I'm just saying it's not bad. Because realistically, Jay-Z's not like giving away his billions, but I still think people feel a sense of pride in it.
I guess.
One for the team.
Okay.
So
I won't argue that.
Congratulations, Mr. Z. Mr. Carter.
Mr. Carter.
You did it. Jack Dorsey now has Tidal, the majority stake in it. Let's see. What else is on the docket? Well, we can talk about NFTs or OTF. What do you guys want to talk about first?
I don't know what this was that the thing I don't know about?
Yeah, let's do that first. Let's